I don't like this quest. You never said that this could be easy. I've been here before. We'll just keep fighting shit. I think. Are these going to be immune? Yep. Might go up this way. I've never gone up this way before, so it could be a bit dodgy. Your brand. Yeah. Maybe I could go down this way. I just want to stay away from Estrada. Oh, God. Hello. Oh, baby. It's upgrades.
5 stem turret. Oh yeah. God damn. These upgrades.
Okay, let's start with the warrior. So S is being the hardest or the easiest? How should we do it, chat? S as the easiest? Okay, let's see S as the easiest then, yeah? No doubt in mind, Warlock is an S, chat. The ability Fear is just broken. And you have 3 pets to choose from. I know Guzu played with the Imp because Voidwalker is a little cheapo because it's too powerful and it makes it way easier than it has to be. And you have a lot of ways to live. You have the little Hellstone, you can sacrifice pet if you're playing with Voidwalker. And it's just a very good class. You can also banish elementals, right, if you can't fear it. It's weak against undeads because you can't fear undeads, but you also have Death Coil, right? Next is Priest. I think I'm gonna put Priest on A. I would like to put it here, but there's a lot, and I want to pan it out, right? I think Priest is a A, just because if you play it well, you can never die, unless you're an idiot like me and pull like 10 mobs, on accident, of course. Priest is so good, and if you have the 5-second row add-on, you can mana management forever, which is something I learned around level 30. You will never go home. Just wand combo, put a shield up, wand combo, and you just regen mana forever. I used to chain pull like crazy playing a priest. And then I got too big on my head and I died. Mage. I think Mage is, I want to rank them fairly high as well. I think I'm going to put them in A. Very good, you can mass kill AoE. You always have an escape route because you can Nova and blink out, right? If you're in trouble, you can ice block, wait for the blink again, get out, right? Is it S? Okay, I'll put it in S. I'll put it in S. Mage is one of the strongest classes. Also, you gotta consider, like, making money is hard in Classic WoW. And you gotta have a lot of food and water, right? Like Priest, you gotta drink. Paladin, you gotta drink. Mages, you make your own stuff. You never have to drink. You teleport around the town. Little god class. And you have the best AoE to level up fast as possible. You level up the fastest as a mage. It's proven, right? Fastest level 60 on Classic WoW was a mage. So we'll put him there. I think Rogue is an A. You guys okay with that? I think Rogue is very hard to die on as well. That's why we see the most Rogues go for the Mallet quest. And people usually don't mess with the Mallet quest. But they have crippling poison, you can kite a lot, you can gouge, buy some energy time or bandage. You have blind as well. You have Blade Fury for double kill, Repose for instant disarm and a little damage. Rogue is very, very strong. One of the most fun classes too. I enjoy Rogues a lot. IDK, you leveled your warrior a lot faster than Zarya on his mage? I just play a lot. I mean, I don't know. I think he just takes it slow. I think he's just trying to enjoy the classic grind, right? But yeah, you're kind of right on that. He was ahead of me, but I passed. But I died. You think I can pass him again, chat? On top of it. Okay, Druid. I don't know where to put Druid. I feel like they start out really bad, but it just gets better and better later. I think B is fine, right? I have them as a placeholder in B, but I think B's fine. You're like a hybrid class. You do damage, you could tank, you could heal, you could do range pulls, you could get away, you have travel form, you have water form. You should never die underwater, by the way, if you play a druid, but I did see a lot of people drowning and dying as a druid, which is a shame. You can literally swap forms. So there's that. Yeah, like I said, druid starts out rough. Hunter. I think Hunter is easily, is it A or S? I think it's S, because you can kite, feign death, avoid death all the time. Yeah, good Hunter, you just feign death, put your pet, let them taunt, let them do the ward, you sit back and chill. There is a minus to it though. You gotta pet manage when you like jump down caves or in dungeons so you don't pull the whole place. So you have to be careful about that. But outside of that, that goes for warlocks as well. I think that's that. Alright, now we have warrior. I think this chart, I can get rid of these, right? Yeah, I don't think we need to go down that much. I don't think it's like that much harder. We'll put warrior in D tier. I will say though, I think warrior starts out very rough, but once you get your full kit like whirlwind, sweeping strikes, you kind of kill it from there. But up to like 38, it's a little bit rougher. It's a little bit rougher. Yeah, once you get pummel, you're kind of done. Pummel and whirlwind at 38. I died at 37 because my shield bash missed. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, warrior is definitely the harder one. I don't think anyone can argue about that. Shaman. So I think I'm gonna put shaman in C. Yeah, you guys okay with that? They start out very strong, but they scale less. Shaman's B. You wanna put in B? Okay, I can put in B. If people are feeling B, if you guys are feeling B, I don't mind that. You gotta control your totems, and that's that. Shaman is it unplayable actually? I haven't played a shaman myself. I just visualized other people, right? But I can explain paladin. I'm gonna put paladin in C, chat. Paladin, I was level 59. It was miserable. So slow. You auto attack all the way to max level. It was miserable. In dungeon, if you're concentration build, I think it's amazing. You do a lot of damage. But it's kind of like shaman. It starts out really strong, but along the line, like, you don't have an AoE as a paladin outside of consecration, right? And you don't get that until high level unless you rank it in the talents into earlier. Paladin S, you wanna put Paladin on S tier? Really? Wait, you got no troll. You think I should put it higher? Okay, I'll put it in A. I'll put it in A. Okay, outside of killing things, yes, we do have good survivability though. You have Bubble, you have Bob, you have Live Hand, but they all give actually, only Bop and Bubble give forbearance, and then you could use Lay on Hand separately. So you do have many ways to live for sure. You do have many ways. But you can't Bubble Hearth in Hardcore chat. You have to realize that. If you Bubble Hearth, you get disqualified as a Paladin. That's one thing you can never do. Shaman is C? Okay, I'll put Shaman C then. Everything is S and A. Yeah, chat wants everything in S. Split the middle, fun to play. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I was ranking Paladin for like fun for some reason instead of survivability. But I think this is right. I think this is right, chat. I think Shaman and Paladin have something in common though. They're like start strong, but it becomes a little slow later. Unless you're Elemental. Elemental's bang, but you gotta drink all the time. Warrior is not deep. You don't think so, mister? Where do you think warriors go then, Mr. Spylon Boone? Artist? Class and classic. Wow. I mean, we're just ranking it off the hardest, right? And if you type it, hardest class in WoW. Warrior is represented the hardest class solo level. Let's see, easiest to level in classic. Okay, I got a bunch of answers. So it said Hunter, and then when I clicked on this, it says Warlock. Warlocks are the second easiest to level. So Hunters and Warlocks. Melee Hunter is hard. Melee Hunter can be hard. Petless is hard too. Priest is hard because of how boring it is. Right, but this isn't like fun and bored, right? Here, we'll do a second one right here. Warlock. I think Warlock's fun, but not that fun. Warlock has a lot of kit. Mage, S for sure. Mage is so fun, man. Hunter, this is kind of my opinion, chat, but I think Hunter's really fun too. You have a pet, you can kite, it's fun. You have control. I guess Warlock has control too, but it's just too strong. Priest. I think Priest is like C. If you enjoy throwing wand, it's good. But if you don't, it's gonna be mega boring for you. Rogue is easy A for me, super fun. Paladin, I think it goes in the same ranking. Druid, I'm gonna put it in A. I think Druid's really fun too. Shaman, I'm gonna put Shaman in B. I don't think it's like terrible bad. And Warrior, I think Warrior's super fun. I'll put it right there. Does that look okay, chat? For the fun list? What do you think? It's not about enjoying throwing wand, it's about watching Savage content while auto-wanding. My man! Hunter is Sleepo? I like Hunter because it has a pet, man. There's a good story to it. Druid don't get ferocious by until 32 though. Yeah, I mean it's still fun as a Druid. I enjoyed my Druid. Druid was super fun. One of the strongest classes.
I don't want to do this crazy. Too dodgy.
Hey guys, in today's video I wanted to go over what I believe to be the best items to go for in TOGC. This will be the first items I'll pry when starting to gear in Phase 3, or for anyone who does a wish list or just simply looking for a list of the strongest items in the phase. This isn't set in stone or anything, but rather just a list based on the biggest gains in terms of stats and DPS. This is also coming from being Phase 2 BIS, which I know not all of us are, but figured it'd be a good starting point. If you're lacking in one of those slots for Phase 2 BIS, then just know that you would probably prowl that slot and trade for one of these that I'm listing in the video. I'll be using 80 upgrades simply for the ease of seeing the stats gains over Phase 2, and the links to these will be in the description, as well as the link to the Phase 3 BIS on screen right now and in the description.
I think I already did the run on this.
Before we begin, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Frazzy.
They want that crin stuff.
Over in the Warlock Discord for spending hours to go over this list with me. And as always, make sure you head on over to the Warlock Discord, your one-stop shop for anything and everything Warlock related. And also please hit the follow button and the thumbs up. And lastly, I stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/KirksVibes, where I raid on 3 different Warlocks, 1 of each spec, as well as I do a ton of the hardcore challenge. Okay, so some of these items are highly contested by other casters, which is why they're on the list. There's a couple Phase 3 BIS items that are not contested at all, but are very, very strong. Using the chest as an example, Skyweaver is one of, if not the biggest upgrade you can get. However, only Affliction Warlocks want it, so you're only fighting those of your kind for this. Therefore, I would prio it, but I wouldn't prio it first. More on that later. As for the tier 9 set, it's very hard to work this into priority because it's very, very good for Affliction, not just for the 4 set, but because of the stats on most of the tier 9 pieces are very good. The problem is, it might not matter if you prio it because it depends largely on your guild and how they're handing out tier. I will list some on this list, however, for those that do have some control on T9 per hour or are just curious which of the 4 is the best. The 4 set itself is so good, in fact, that even using the 4 piece of the lower 245 gear is 100% worth it until you can get your hands on the juicy Regalia 258 gear from the tribute chest. A side note about gearing in Phase 3, while we won't have any hit problems in the long run, as there's tons of gear in this phase with hit on it, you may find your hit bouncing around a lot while you're gearing or waiting for your full Phase 3 BIS. If you find yourself getting a strong upgrade in Phase 3, but it causes you to lose some hit that was on your Phase 2 piece, you can make up the hit with some Phase 2 gear like Frozen Loop, Shimmering Seal, Sash of Ancient Power, and Pulsars. These would be worth to swap on to make up the hit if you get one of those big pieces that we're listing. So if you find these in the raid and nobody wants them right now, it could be smart to swoop them up and toss them into the bank. You never know if you could use them on a rainy day. Okay, so the first item you want is the cloak. Aethys' Intensity if you're Horde, or Jaina's Radiance if you're Alliance. This is an amazing cloak that is 19 spell power, 65 crit, and 13 haste, better than your phase 2 cloak. This cloak is also the most contested item among casters, making it the most important to prioritize in my opinion. Not only that, but this cloak is only slightly behind the phase 4 ICC Bis cloak, Frostbinder Shredded Cape, meaning once you get this phase 3 cloak, you really don't have to worry about another cloak for quite some time. All of this combined, I'm going for the cloak before anything else, and I suggest you do as well. The next item I'd go for is one of the weapons. I say one of them because which one you use depends on your hit situation, and more importantly, which one your raid gives you. No matter the choice, they're both amazing weapons, and you should be happy with either. With the Terrace Dagger, you gain 25 spell power, 57 haste, and 7 hit over Starshar's Edge. With the sword, Blade of the Unbroken Covenant for Alliance, or Mortalis for Horde, you gain 36 spell power, 39 haste, and 58 crit while losing 44 hit. If you get the sword, note that you'll be losing some hit, but you can also make that up with any of those strong phase 2 Bis items I mentioned a few minutes ago. If you get the dagger, it allows you to not only keep the hit from Starshar's Edge, but you gain 7 more, allowing you to substitute hit from another slot if needed. The next item I'd go for will once again depend largely on your guild's T9 prio as mentioned earlier, but tier 9 legs are absolutely massive. You gain 20 spell power, 102 crit, 15 haste, 25 stamina, and 25 intellect. These are huge and the best of the T9 to obtain first. As for the other pieces of tier, with shoulders you gain 12 spell power, 20 spirit, 75 crit, 31 stam, and 30 intellect, but you lose 71 haste and a socket. In gloves you gain 19 spell power and 65 hit, but you lose 85 haste and a socket. So while they're good, you just don't gain nearly as much as you do with the legs. Helm is nice as well with 9 spell power, 6 spirit, and 15 crit, plus the socket bonus is better than Crown of Luminance, bringing 9 spell power, so you'll actually get 11 total. But once again, nowhere near the value of the legs. The next item I'd go for is Skyweaver's Chest. This is an absolute massive upgrade from phase 2 and you really want this right away. This would be proud first or second if it was contested, but luckily the only people that want this are your other affliction locks. You gain 19 spell power, 96 haste, 8 hit, and a socket, making this an incredibly strong upgrade. And for the last item, if you get the option to put a second piece of tier 9 on your list, then I'd put one of those 3 I listed up there with the legs. Otherwise, I'm going to bundle this up as a few items. Boots, belt, bracers, and ring, which are all minor upgrades and quickly replaced in phase 4, but they are all highly contested, making them still very important to get. My problem is that I don't know which of the 4 I'd prio. The ring gives you 6 spell power, 6 spirit, 6 stam, and 53 crit. The bracers give you 6 spell power, 3 spirit, and 5 haste. The boots give you 8 spell power, 3 spirit, 6 stam, and 5 haste, while the belt gives you 9 spell power and 3 spirit, while swapping haste for crit. I'm personally probably going to go for the ring first out of the group as it seems to bring the most value. Well, that's it for this one. I just wanted to give you guys my input on which items I think are the most important to aim for in phase 3. I hope this helps you prepare for TOGC.
Roll, may your blades never dull. How you doing, man?
How you doing, man?
What do you need? Go forth to victory. Speak, friend, for the Horde.
Hello, man. Later.
Oh, so I don't even need to do anything here. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Magraw.
This was the quest I missed. So I've definitely been here before, I'm just losing my mind.
Strength.
Migrant Hills, Brad. Again. And finish it up there. Yeah.
Involving a whole lot of mob grinding and dungeon running. One of the early parts of this quest is named Of Forgotten Memories. It has you go retrieve an item that's been buried outside a crypt to his south, and it seems like a pretty simple recovery quest. But it is not. When you loot the dirt pile, a level 57 named NPC and 3 level 55s will spawn. For some reason, all of these guys do way higher damage than average for their level, in addition to having over 5,000 health each. Simply put, taking on all 4 at once is going to be very challenging, especially if you are under-leveled. The good news is you only need to defeat the 57 to loot the item you need, and there are several ways to do this quest pretty safely. First of all, if you're playing any ranged class in the game, there is a small broken down part of the fence nearby to where you loot the dirt pile. If you run up to this, tap jump and forwards and then do that again, you'll be able to jump over it. The mobs will have to run far around to the side in order to reach you here, so you can simply wear the leader of the robbers down, loot him and then reset the other mobs. If you're a melee, you need to do a split pull on the mobs. In order for this to work, you need to aggro all 4 mobs at the same time with a single attack. You can't pull one mob and have the others aggro off of him and follow you. That won't work. The best way to do this is via a consumable that deals AoE damage, such as grenades. And even if you aren't an engineer, you still get nades from various quest rewards, so you'll probably have some on you. So you nade the mobs, run away, keep the 57 in combat with thrown weapons or other attacks, and after a while the 55 should reset, leaving you with a 1v1. And you should keep running with a 57, as the 55s might just re-aggro anyway. Or, you know, just run in, blast all your cooldowns and hope for the best. That can work too. Next is first of the defend against waves of enemies types of quest on this list, called Pawn Captures Queen. It's fairly deep into a quest chain which starts in Tanaris and takes place in Ongoro Crater. This has you use an item to summon mobs in the back of a cave. After using the item, 2 mobs will instantly spawn to defend the hive. Upon defeating them, 3 more will instantly spawn, and when you defeat them, the queen herself will spawn alongside 2 more mobs. The big tip here is you don't need to instantly fight one wave after the other. If you stand towards the entrance of the room, you'll be able to eat and drink up to full health and mana in between each wave. As for the last wave with the queen, you only technically need to defeat her for the quest item, and then you could run away and de-aggro the other 2 mobs, but this is risky. There's a pretty good chance that enemies will have started to respawn back near the entrance of the cave, and you could just be running back into even more danger, so I plan to defeat all 3 waves if possible. Next I want to cover one Horde specific and one Alliance specific quest. These are both very difficult and should be approached with caution on a hardcore character. The Horde one is Test of Endurance, which takes place in 1000 Needles. This is part of a really long quest chain, which during this part has you go into a nearby Harpy cave, another cave quest, get used to seeing them, and defend against several waves of enemies. And despite this quest taking place around level 30 or so, it is way more dangerous than the one we just talked about in Ongoro. After destroying one of the food crates, you start the encounter, which will summon 2 harpies in the first wave, 2 harpies in the second, 3 harpies in the third wave, and 2 harpies as well as the final boss in the last wave. Each wave comes in really fast, giving you very little time to recover in between each set. The cave also has extremely high mob density and very low respawn times, meaning that respawns will have more or less guaranteed happened by the time you're towards the end of the waves. If that doesn't sound bad enough, they also spam a silence effect, meaning if you're a caster, this quest gets way more difficult as you're stuck one responding for the most part. All in all, you should either overlevel this quest with all your cooldowns and potions available, or just probably consider skipping it if you're a caster. On the Alliance, one of the more dangerous early game quests I can think of is the escort part of the Absent-Minded Prospector. This has you take an NPC around a dig site in search of a relic. Escort quests are already notorious in World of Warcraft, mostly for having mobs which move a bit faster than you walk, but slower than you run. But this one has a whole other level of challenge. First of all, a dig site might as well be a cave, as it has one entrance and one exit. The NPC you're escorting is level 16, whereas mobs in the dig site range from 18 all the way to 21. There are both very fast respawns and dynamic respawns in effect here. Dynamic meaning there must always be a certain number of enemies in the area at one time, so if you are unlucky, you can get rid of one golem and another instantly spawns to take its place. I've had this happen to me before. But the real danger here is the trogs that attack towards the back of the camp. You get one melee and one caster who can spawn up to level 21. This escort quest feels as though you need good RNG to take it on at a level appropriate to the quest, because when you first visit this area around level 17 to 18, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. Speaking of dangerous escort quests, you can't mention the subject without talking about the chicken quests. There are 3 in total, all of which started from random zone-wide drops in mid to late game areas. Each one of these has a reputation due to the sheer number of mobs that you have to fight off during each of them. But if you are able to do these quests, they give amazing XP, good item rewards, and if you do all 3, you get a mechanical chicken of your own, which you can even trade on the auction house if you want to. For me, the least dangerous chicken quest is in Feralus, simply because 2 of the patrols that you run into are on the road, where there isn't a real risk of pulling anything else. Don't get me wrong, it's not exactly easy all the same, but the mobs you fight tend to be a little bit lower level than you are as well. The second hardest chicken quest for me is the one in Tanaris, and there's only really one difficult patrol to deal with, but it's really difficult. Around where you see a bunch of rocks, there will be 3 high-level Scorpid that spawn, which also apply a stacking poison debuff. The Scorpid themselves will already pose a problem for most players, but there are also several normal mobs roaming the area too, which can easily chain pull in the fight. Oh, and also, if somebody has failed this quest before you, these Scorpids stay alive in the world for ages and just kind of auto-fail the next person attempting the quest. But the hardest chicken escort has to be the one in the hinterlands. There are already dangerous patrols on the road with nearby mobs roaming about, but the bit that makes it challenging is the final encounter against the Vile Branch ambushers. The issue here is that there are stealthed wolves all over the place. It's nearly impossible to fight both the trolls without accidentally pulling additional mobs into the fight, making things even harder than they already are. There are 2 things you can say about these escort quests, and indeed all escort quests for that matter. Pre-clear where possible. If you know where you're going, you can ensure that the way is safe, apart from the additional NPCs that will spawn. And secondly is sometimes you don't need to fight anything at all. If the NPC you're escorting does not enter combat with the patrol, they will just keep running along happily, and as long as you don't fall too far behind, you will not fail the quest. This can be consistent to pull off once you have a mount, and before that some classes can handle kiting mobs better than others. Mages can take enemies to the side and freeze them forever, and hunters can pull out mobs and feign death, and so on. Next is a quest back in STV called Stranglethorn Fever. This has to be one of the most dangerous defense quests in the game. In fact, I'd say there's only one harder than this. The saving grace here is that this quest takes place outdoors, so you can pretty easily escape if things go wrong. Either way, the objective is to loot the heart of Mok the Savage. Getting him to spawn though can be tricky. First up, you need to collect 10 Gorilla Fangs to begin the event. The first wave you'll run into is 3 enraged gorillas to deal with. After that, you have a short amount of time to recover before the next wave of 5 gorillas will arrive. You must deal with all of these whilst ensuring that the quest troll NPC remains alive. After that, the last wave of 6 gorillas, including the boss, will come. Now this is kind of the easiest wave, as you no longer need to keep the NPC alive and only need to defeat the named mob, Mok the Savage. So you can just hide out of line of sight or in stealth, wait for the gorillas to engage the NPC, and then pull out Mok by himself, defeat him, and then run off and reset the rest. As a tip on this quest, the next wave won't spawn until all the gorillas from the last one are defeated, so keeping one mob CC'd or at low health and waiting for cooldowns is a very viable tactic. Next is an escort quest you should probably skip unless you've seen how it works firsthand, because what the game pulls on you here is kind of just not very fair, and I've seen so many hardcore deaths on this quest. It's none other than Get Me Out of Here in Desolace. It has your leader level 39 NPC out of a centaur camp. The first patrol you have to deal with is a set of 4 level 40 centaurs, so if you hang to the left of the pathway, the NPC should be able to just about avoid them without you having to intervene. The problem here is the second patrol, which has 3 centaur and 2 hyena pets. This pack is nasty for so many reasons. The hyena can see through stealth, so don't even think about sneaking past them, and the centaur disarm as well as spam a net, so it drastically cuts down the DPS of meleeers and makes it very difficult to escape in general. This also makes kiting the mobs to the side problematic if you...
Oh, I've gone for him.
Go on me. Yeah, never said that this would be easy.
I should have speaked AoE for this, but I'm that shadow. Pumping frostbolts. Oh, bitch gaming. Pretty yellow place to have a picnic. I do want that ring from that skull quest. I might just be here a little while. If I was AoE grinding the farm, it would be a lot quicker to throw the skulls out. At this point, it's not worth going back and respec. Be like respec and another respec, and I need money from now. I'm gonna be so povo when I fucking get to 40. So I've only ever played Warlock. Got one more. Should do another mage after this and like just AoE the whole way. Well, past 14 anyway. Like, there's casters in here, but there'll be melee dudes. But I think sort of 20 and onwards. Especially when you get here. Pretty dodgy on a hardcore character though, like sometimes weird shit can happen, like there's this little big one. Like if you pull like 6 dudes in Nova and then like 2 dudes resist and then you cold snap Nova again and then for like some freak reason like there's more resist or like, and when you're doing it over and over and over and over again, that just happens like when we do any Seaman stuff. You just get cut. And in hardcore, you get cut once, and that's it. That's it. When you get Ice Block, though, and Telegraphing, they're all about to hit and generally get out pretty safely every time. It also depends where you are. The shit that'd be pretty bold, like the ZF solo. You could go quite safe for like 44 for that. But again, like weird shit can happen. Sometimes you get like teleported from a safe spot. Or when you like glitch the pot in the zombie area, it's like sort of the 2 pots at the back you can like stand in, the zombies can't go in there for some reason. Every once in a while like one can, or they can hit you through the pot, and that'd be pretty stressful. The XP is so good on non-hardcore. Well, obviously still good on hardcore, but just going in there YOLO as fuck is it's good. I'm looking forward to going 1,000 needles. Like, I feel like from 1,000 needles the game becomes a lot better. I thought the 20s drag a little bit, especially on Horde. I haven't really done much Alliance, so I think I'm pretty keen for that. But when you're in Barons, like permanently, these trees are fucking annoying. I still love them. I just gotta kill a bunch of peasants. Go to the other side. Oh, I get a feed on. I think a dude comes out, if I remember right. From that. So I better prep just in case. Damage. Oh, God. Thousand Needles was pretty hard up in the like getting those letters. That was some stressful stuff. I suppose as a mage, like if I'm ever in trouble, I can just yeet off the side of the cliff. Whereas on the Warlock, I definitely did not have that option. And it was like playing some Metal Gear Solid or some shit. Wow, so I left the Elixir of Pain in the bank. Whoops. when I thought I was going to SFK, but then it just didn't turn out that way. Alright, I gotta kill these peasants. Need Anakin on this case. Oh, there's heaps of them. It should be okay. I feel these days, and I shouldn't speak so early, especially because I'm considering I lost my warlock in this playthrough. PvP server Hillsbrad is definitely scarier than hardcore Hillsbrad, but that really depends on where you go. I remember like hiding one of these houses and like some dude outside's like flashing out like Alliance are coming. It's like hiding up in the second story back there, like fucking behind one of the chests or something. Like, "Ooh!" And then this human paladin who's a skull just comes up and fucks me up. Oh, it's that's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to a fresh. I'm pretty keen to get into that. I think it's gonna be Alliance. That'll be a bit difficult. Sneaky boy A. Sneaky boys A. There they. Damn, these peasants have been mass moided. Oh, there's one there. My god, he's been mass moided. I mean, I should keep killing these dudes for the skulls anyway. There was a lot of peasants for a time. Okay. Alrighty. This dude loves just pumping crossbows. TY. TY. Homie's finished. Oh, no, he's changed his mind. Oh, no, he's changed his mind again. Oh, God. Idelo. I keep thinking I've got like fucking Wrath CDs, like trinkets and shit. Like popping that shit. Ooh, that was a mistake. But it's okay. Got my one and me loss. Big crit. Oh. Need more of that shadow shit. How do all of them not have skulls? Some much head or some shit. I mean, I need to kill like everything here. And I could do it in one pull. Oh! That was a weird tip. That first one. That's pretty fun. And what better place in the middle of a field? I need new water, man. I don't know if I get a 28. Can't remember. Oh shit. This is gonna be rough. Don't have that 5-second add-on. Alrighty. Let's go right around there. There we go. Now I need some more skulls. That'll be it. 1,000 items. Now I just go full Revenge of the Sith on these fools. Or Attack of the Clones, it kind of does both. Oh shit. I took room for this. Took room for this. Oh shit. Blink up, dog. Alright. Really need new water. I prayed. I think I'm gonna be let down. Casually in the farm. There was always like one dude on Aragorn that would hang out here like 24/7, just killing cunts. I'm jealous of that life. Definitely still need SFK before you're past the limit, which I think is 30. If anyone would invite a limit 30. Who knows? Oh shit, this is dodgy as fuck. See ya. God damn, there's a lot of homies that ran out of there. Can I aggro this dude as well? Oh my goodness. This is bitch gaming right here. Oh my boy. Yeah, buns and ties. God, the mana bar goes up so slowly now. Not like this. Got killed by a druid. Oh shit. I fucking checked if there was a dude. I felt it in me soul. Alright, kid. At least not good, or it's fine. Thank God for path exploitation. Damn, she's moving quick though. Oh, I've been saved, my hero. Thank you. I need a hero. One more. One more and we're out of here. Alrighty. Let's go. Running around this room is kind of dodgy, but I've never regretted anything before in doing this shit, so you'll be right. You'll be right, kid. Man, this immersion is mean. I need to play like DayZ or something. That would be pretty cool. That was a bit creative. Good old stinky smelly, hey? Hey guys, it's your boy Stinky Smelly here.
What is it?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that shit.
What now?
Alright. Cool. I have another ring. Now, give me that shit. And we're going back to Org. Give me spells. I haven't checked what I'm getting, so it's a surprise to me.
Hello, man.
Hello, man. Nah, yeah. Yes. These are okay. I mean, this could be really helpful, to be honest. Mana Shield, I think, is a fucking meme. Torch is alright. But,
Later. Bye-bye now.
bye-bye now. Alright, so no water. But we did get a mana gem. That's great news. Dampen magic. Probably should start using that anyway. New blizzard. Sure. Oh. But what is actually sick, and it's gonna grief my mana bar even harder, is the new arcane hint. Oh yeah. Or when I'm drinking, I mean. Wait. I never actually handed this quest in. Maybe I should. On the way down there.